Hello, my little darlings, and welcome to Storytime with Miss Darlie.
So what book are we reading today, Miss Darlie?
Today's featured book is Time for Bed, Old House by Costa Bate, illustrated by A.G. Ford.
Wow, Miss Darlie, I never heard of a house getting ready for bed. Is that really a thing, Miss Darlie?
Absolutely, Mr. Woody, and we're about to read all about it. But before we do, I just want to remind my little darlings that after this video is over, there will be a special clip at the end of the video about the 4 seasons in a year. Mr. Woody, are you excited to hear a great book today?
Of course, Miss Darlie.
That's wonderful. What about you, my little darlings? Are you guys excited to hear a great book today? Well, let's get started. Time for Bed, Old House by Costa Bate, illustrated by A.G. Ford. Isaac loved the new pajamas he got for his first sleepover at Grandpop's house. He loved laughing and playing with Grandpop, but he didn't love the thought of sleeping away from home. "I'm not sleepy," Isaac said. "Then stay awake," Grandpop said. "But it's time to put the house to bed." "I never heard of putting a house to bed," said Isaac. "Well, little buddy," said Grandpop, "let me show you and Bear how it's done. First, you move kind of quiet and slow." Grandpop took soft, slow steps across the room. Isaac took soft, slow steps behind him. "Now, let's make it nice and dark and cozy," Grandpop said, and he turned off the light. Click, click, click. "What's that noise?" asked Isaac. He reached for Grandpop's hand. "That's just Snuffles," Grandpop said. The old dog plowed across the floor, nails clicking. Isaac gave Snuffles a pat. With Isaac and Snuffles following, Grandpa stepped softly down the hallway. He paused at the light switch and looked at Isaac. Isaac reached up and turned it off. Squeak, squeak, squeak. "What's that noise?" asked Isaac. Grandpa brought Isaac over to the window and pointed. "The wind is blowing your swings back and forth," he said. Isaac could see them moving in the moonlight. "Now come on, sport, we're not done yet." Grandpa carefully pulled down the window shades. "Look like the house is closing his eyes to sleep," he said. Creak, creak, creak. "What's that noise?" asked Isaac. "This old house makes sleepy sounds, just like you," said Grandpa. "You yawn, you stretch, I bet you even snore." "I don't think I snore," said Isaac. Grandpa shrugged. "But if you're sleeping, how do you know?" He chuckled loudly, then caught himself and put his hand over his mouth. "Come on, little pal," Grandpa said softly. They tiptoed up the stairs. When Snuffles yawned a squeaky yawn, Grandpa put his finger to his lips and whispered, "Shh, Snuffles, shh." They went into Mama's old bedroom. "Time to read a bedtime story to the house," Grandpa said quietly to Isaac. "But I can't read yet," Isaac said quietly to Grandpa. "I bet you can read pictures." Grandpa settled himself into the big chair by the bed and held out a book to Isaac. "Just tell me what you see on each page." Isaac climbed onto Grandpa's lap and described the first picture. "A little boy is looking out the window. There's snow on the ground." Isaac turned the page. "He's outside wearing a red jacket." "Good job," said Grandpa. "Keep going." When Isaac finished reading the pictures in the book, he rested his head on Grandpa's shoulder. He could hear him breathing slow and steady. He looked up and saw that he had read Grandpa to sleep. Isaac carefully climbed off the chair and covered Grandpa with a blanket. Then, taking soft, slow steps, Isaac walked over to the window. He gently closed the shade and whispered, "Time for bed, old house." When the grandfather clock chimed from the hallway, Isaac put his finger to his lips. "Shh, Mr. Clock, shh." Isaac settled himself into bed, picked up a book, and in a soft voice read the pictures to Bear. When he was done, he quietly turned off the lamp. Click, click, click. He reached out to pet Snuffles. Squeak, squeak, squeak. He thought of the fun he and Bear would have on the swings tomorrow. Creak, creak, creak. Tonight he would sleep well in the old house. And if that old house could hear, then it too would have heard bedtime noises. Snore, snore, snore. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed today's featured book just as much as Mr. Woody and I. In order to keep up with our latest content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, don't forget to stay tuned because after this video is over, there will be a special clip about the 4 seasons of the year. Well, until next time, bye-bye. Hello, my little darlings. I'm Miss Darlie.
And I'm Mr. Woody.
And we're from Storytime with Miss Darlie.
Today, Miss Darlie and I are going to teach you guys about the 4 seasons in the year. Although the weather can be different sometimes, depending on where you live.
In autumn, the amount of time it is light for becomes less. The leaves start to change color and fall off the trees. Autumn is called fall in the United States of America. In winter, we have colder weather, sometimes snow and frost. The trees have no leaves, and the amount of time it is light during the day is at its shortest. In the spring, the weather usually turns warmer. Trees begin to grow their leaves, plants start to flower, and young animals such as chicks and lambs are born. In summer, the weather is usually warm. Trees have full green leaves, and the amount of time it is light for during the day is longer. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the 4 seasons. Well, until next time, bye-bye.